That is an idea that all delay pedal manufacturers should take inspiration from. Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea. I hope you're all good. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at a brand new product from Suhr. Hopefully you guys know who Suhr are. If you're not, I'll put them in the description box below, but they are most renowned for making really high-end quality guitars. They also do pedals, they also do amplifiers, they do the PT100, which is Pete Thorne's signature amplifier. They do load boxes like the Suhr Reactive IR that I have back here. They're basically just guitar gear aficionados. They've brought out a brand new delay pedal, and specifically an analog delay pedal named Discovery. So recently I was speaking to a guy called Justin at Suhr, who's been really helpful for me getting a second Suhr IR load box so that I can do some really specific stereo rigs with the same load on either side. Really pernickety, tone geeky, weird stuff. We were chatting over email and he said, we've got a new delay pedal coming out. Would you be interested in checking it out? I can send it along with the load box for you to plug in and see what you think. It's brand new. It's designed by Kevin Suhr. This isn't a sponsored video, but it's just like all my other videos whereby I'm going to show you what this pedal sounds like through my kind of rigs, playing the kind of guitar playing that I like to play. And if you think it sounds great, then that's awesome. Put your comments in the comment section below and I'll leave my opinions to the end of the video. So as I said before, this is designed by Kevin Suhr. So as you'd imagine, when it's got a lead designer, there's obviously a vision that goes into making a pedal. Any pedal, of course. In this instance, it's an analog delay pedal. So I'm sure that Kevin had a very specific vision for how he wanted this pedal to turn out. So the first thing I'll do is just take you across the main controls of the pedal before we get into tones real fast so you can see what's happening. So top left, you've got the mix of the delay. Big knob in the middle is the time knob, of course. That's really nice. Regen or repeats, whatever you prefer to call it, but that's essentially the feedback, the repeats of the delay. So the higher that goes, the more intense it gets. One thing that's really nice and important to point out here is that they've added a soft clipping limiter on the regeneration knob or the feedback knob, whatever you want to call it, which actually compensates for that really intense oscillation effect that you get when you turn feedback up really high. So that's regeneration. Then we move along the bottom here. You've got filter, so you've got a low cut and a high cut, which is really nice for carving out the repeats, stopping things from getting too muddy, and also helping to dial in sort of genre-specific style delays, such as reggae or ska or anything like that. But yeah, really, really handy having those filters in there that you can dial in. Now we've got modulation. Modulation's really, really cool because you've got speed and depth, and then you see this little button here that changes the wave shape, so you can move between square wave, triangle, or sine wave. And that's really, really nice because they all have different qualities, and depending on where you set the speed and the depth knob, you can create almost like chorus effects, Leslie effects, flanger effects. So that's really, really cool having that so easily sort of customizable on the front there. You got your bypass switch here and you got your tap tempo switch. Something really cool about the tap tempo is it sort of measures the average of 4 taps. So it's really nice in the sense that, you know, if you're quickly trying to tap in a tempo and it's, you know, in the middle of a song or something, it's going to average out of those 4 taps and then just snap in, which I think is really cool. Top right here, you've got your button for divisions. This can move between beats per minute or it can move between milliseconds if you just hold it like that. But also you can swap between, you can see here, quarter, dotted eighth notes, triplets, and 16th notes, which is really cool. Not only to mention that it's nice having it on the top there so you can quickly dial in and you can see on the display in beats per minute or milliseconds, whichever you prefer, exactly what I want. So I want it to be 190 beats per minute. And if the big knob gets a bit annoying for you, you can just use these arrows here to just fine tweak. So that's really cool. In terms of the minimum and maximum, we're currently looking at it in milliseconds. So you've got 40, and if you turn the big knob all the way up, we go up to 1100. So that's a really nice range. Something else that's really cool about this pedal is that you don't have to end there. Using these little arrow knobs here, you can exceed, you can hold down, you can go way higher than 1100 milliseconds. Starts to degrade the signal somewhat, but that can actually make out for quite cool delay tones. Then if we go back the other way to 40, you can actually go sub 40 milliseconds to 17. You can save up to 127 presets in here. Two more features just before we get stuck into tones, and these two are probably my favorite features of this pedal. The first one being that you can map an expression pedal to any parameter in the pedal, literally any parameter in the pedal. So if you plug your expression pedal in, which I actually have plugged in here, as you can see, you've got a little Dunlop one on the side, it's plugged in. I can go ahead and map, say, the time knob from a heel and toe position, the regeneration, the filter, the modulation speed and depth, and literally create my own custom expression pedal preset that I can use with the delay. And I think that's a very, very cool feature that I've not really heard from any other delay pedal before. And the last feature that I think is definitely worth pointing out is its MIDI functionality. It has MIDI in and through, but not only that, it can send MIDI CC commands, which is very, very cool, because it means you can go ahead and send commands to other MIDI enabled pedals, like anything else that you might know or use, like the Strymon stuff or the Microcosm or the Boss stuff, any of that. And you can essentially control other pedals with the Suhr Discovery analog delay as well. So to be honest, hopefully this has been cut down into a nice bite-sized chunk of features for this pedal, but it's packed full. It's an analog delay. It's made by Suhr. And I just want to get stuck in and see how it sounds. Okay, so I've got my guitar. I'm going to be using the Pulse guitar. It's been quite a long time since I've had this out in video, so I figured it'd be fun. We're just going to hear the delay on its own, running into the VX100 Super Kraken that's going into the Suhr Reactive IR, and I'm running an instance of Archetype Nolly for my cab. So this is what we've got. Sounds good. Right, let's go ahead and turn it on. Definitely sounds analog. Okay, so let's start with something like that, and let's mess with the filter real quick. So when you turn the filters all the way up, it really is cutting a lot of information out. Nice and effective. Probably go for something like this. Sweet. So you can hear the filters working nicely there. I like the way they're currently sounding. Next thing, we'll just have a quick listen to the modulation before we start getting more experimental with tonage. Right, let's put them at halfway. That's very Leslie. Going to throw a little bit of reverb on here. I got the Walrus Fathom just on the side. So just by adding a bit of reverb to bed everything in more, I'm getting involved. So I really like the sound of the modulation. Very natural, as I said before. Let's just have a listen to the other versions. So this is square wave now. Let's try triangle now. Next thing I want to try is messing around with the delay times using the up and down arrows, these two here. So this is where we're at currently. It's like a slapback thing. So let's get rid of some of the low end. Definitely not the right kind of slapback sound. You probably want it a tiny bit slower, actually. Okay, so I've got it set to 1100 milliseconds. So what I'm going to do now is bump it up past there. Pete Thorne was saying that if we go into the realms of between 12 and 1400, you get some pretty interesting things going on there. Almost as interesting as what the B camera is doing. I don't know what it's trying to focus on. Chill out, man. Just chill out. Right. So I've gone to 1339 milliseconds. So let's do a little, I don't know. That legitimately sounds like a heartbeat and a weird noise too. Anyway, what I was trying to demonstrate was the degradation. Let's try that again. It's set to the sort of limit of where it holds its, retains its sort of hi-fi sound. I've just set it to the limit of where it would normally be, so like... which is cool and all. But you'll hear how it almost sounds bit crushed if I go like really, really far into the distance, into the future, into the... you know what I mean. Right, check it out, check it out. I mean, that's a cool thing. You know, it's almost adding other effects, and then when you start blending this stuff in... Okay, so this part of the video I'm quite excited about because we're going to be mapping the expression pedal. So, as you can see, got my little Dunlop expression here on the right, and it's plugged in and everything. Now, in order to be able to map the expression pedal parameters, basically pedals on, this is the sound we've got. Now that's cool for me, I think that's nice. What I want to do is map the expression pedal to speed that up a bit, maybe increase the regeneration, maybe shelf a bit of, get rid of a bit of low end, and then maybe increase the intensity of the modulation. Let's do all that and see if we can do it. So, the easiest way to go about it is you simply press and hold the preset select, and it will tell us if we're in the pedal where the knobs are placed or if we're in a preset, firstly. So, we're in edit mode, we're in pedal mode, and you've noticed now it's flashing, and also there's a little dot here. That means heel position of the expression. If I push it forward, it goes to the toe position. So when that dot illuminates, that means you set the heel position parameters, and then when the other dot illuminates, you set the toe position parameters. So this is where we're at. I think that's cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that where it is, and then I'm going to simply push down into the toe position, and now I'm going to adjust everything. So I want it to be faster, like that. I want to move the regeneration more. So you've heard all that. We're boosting the depth now. Let's just push up the speed. So this is all an experimentation, and I might back off some of that mix. Okay? So, go back to the heel position. This is what we had. If we go toe position. That is an idea that all delay pedal manufacturers should take inspiration from, because that's really so simple. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're just going to do like this glidey sweepy thing. So let's just set all these where I want them. And then okay. I've stumbled across what I think is a really cool preset, and it's the kind of thing where if I had the expression pedal on the floor, I'd be able to do some really cool stuff with that. It was like time-based, it had some octave stuff, completely by accident, but I'm digging it. So I'm gonna have to save this. Hold it. Or do you just press it? Oh yeah, store. And I want that to be preset 1, so I'm gonna store it there. So You can see here, we can preset select. So I'm going back to pedal. This is currently where the pedal's set. So let's change it all just for the mess around. It was a very rudimentary demonstration that John's going to cut down there just to show you the preset storing, and I was just double checking that it actually stored there. So in preset 1 now I've got this really cool expression pedal pad sweep thing. Okay then, well that would about sum it up for the Discovery Analog Delay from Suhr. This is the kind of pedal that I want to spend a bunch of time in and really fine tweak some presets and things like that to utilize with the expression pedal. So my opinion is that I can tell straight away by messing around with this pedal, messing with the feature set, learning about what it's capable of, that this is very much the it's the result of someone's vision that's really tried to design something that they think is going to be really useful, creative, intuitive, enjoyable, and that would be Kevin Suhr. He obviously had the idea in mind for this pedal, and honestly, plugging it in, messing around with it, finding out a bit about its functionality, I really enjoy it. I think analog delay is a sound that most people enjoy the sound of. I never get bored of a good analog delay. I think they sound fantastic. I way prefer analog delay to any other type, just because the repeats are a little degraded when they come straight away from when you play, and it doesn't really inhibit what you're trying to do, doesn't get in the way, doesn't get messy. I think that is probably my favorite feature of any analog delay. This one in particular sounds very good. It's very hi-fi. I think it's 4 chips in here that mean that it's super powerful and is capable of a lot, which means you have to run it with an 18-volt power supply. I think the layout is great. I think having the big time knob in the middle is super handy, and there's really not a lot to get too stuck on. You know, you've got your filter section, your modulation section, and then the main section here. Simply your preset and how you move about navigating between those and saving and storing. And then, of course, your BPM division, millisecond BPM selector, tap tempo that sort of quantizes, or not quantizes, but essentially works out the average between 4 stomps. Very smart. The MIDI CC command stuff. But honestly, my favorite feature of this entire pedal, outside of the tone quality, is that mapping of expression pedal. That is just such a cool idea, and it really opens up this pedal to become more of an instrument, not just a delay. I think that's really cool. So obviously, yes, this is a really well-made, well-designed unit. Therefore, it's not cheap. It's like, I think it's in the region of $500, 500 quid-ish, something around there. You know, same sort of price as your Origin stuff, your Strymon stuff, Chase Bliss, like all that kind of stuff. So it's not cheap, but you're investing in quality piece of gear. It's a quality piece of gear, and it has some great features in it that are a bit different from other delays that I've tried. So is it worth the money? Who knows? It's up to you. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I think it's great. I'll link it all in the description box, of course. But anyway, thank you so much to Suhr for sending this across for me to check out, and the IR, the Suhr Loadbox IR as well. Really, really grateful for that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you to those guys. Like, subscribe, and share. Leave any comments in the comment section below. I've been Rabea, and I will see you all very soon.